Yeah, give me a Whopper, extra onion.
With cheese?
No, get that cheese out of here. Cheese doesn't belong on a burger. Are you kidding me?
Wow. Hello and welcome. My name is Alex Gonzalez. With me today is my good old friend J.E.
Hey, that's me.
And please remember that we are not game devs. How are you doing today, Jay?
You sound really...
it would make sense that you don't like cheese
Yeah,
on
I was
stuff.
like, you sound really disappointed about my cheese on burger situation.
I feel like it makes the burger so much better.
No, it makes all you taste is that nasty yellow cheese. Like I'll make an exception for, like, let's say when I go to Carl's Jr., for example, I get the jalapeno $6 burger is what it used to be called, but I think that was just bad marketing, and so they changed it to the I don't know what they call it now. It's like the jalapeno good burger. I don't know what it's fucking called, but it's like the really like expensive burger on their menu, but that one's fucking amazing. But that one has pepper jack cheese on it, and pepper jack cheese is okay. Or like a Swiss and mushroom burger, like I'll have that. But if it's that nasty yellow American cheese slice, nah, get that out of here.
I see. I think mushrooms are pretty nasty on burgers.
I wouldn't order a Swiss and Portobello very often, but every once in a while when I'm feeling a little different, add some hot sauce on there.
I just feel like mushrooms encompass whatever flavor is in the dish, and they can't take flavor from their burger, just like mushrooms can't take flavor from the pizza. It's just an earthy taste. Like if you throw mushrooms into like a stir fry, sure. Mushrooms into pasta, beautiful.
Yeah.
Mushrooms
something with the
into
sauce.
A dish. Yeah, into or if you're having a mushroom burger and it's the main feature, all right, great, because that's the texture. You're going for a texture instead of taste. Otherwise, I'm like, what are we doing here? We're just adding like...
Yeah. It's truffles on burgers that freak me out. That's gross. Speaking of mushrooms on burgers.
The nation became obsessed with truffle, and we could never go back.
Yeah.
The marketing must have been great, but those are not... the mushrooms we are talking about today. Today we are creating something new. Every week, We Are Not Game Devs will create a new, exciting video game idea that we have always wanted to play, but do not have any knowledge or know how to create the wonderful experience that are video games. And today is my turn to present We Are Not Game Devs 188th IP. Let's begin with this basic concept. This is going to be a first-person game where you wake up and you don't know what you're doing or why you're there, but you're in a job and everyone's talking to you like they know you, and you have to figure out what's going on, and you're part of like a secret agent, and you have a mission, but you don't know what the mission is, and you have to figure all of that out. And that's all I've got so far. Yeah. I don't know if I want to make it like you're a double agent and you're trying to figure it out,
that's
but
probably what it has to be if you lost your memory, right?
Right. And you have to figure out why you lost your memory, what you're doing there, and try not to get caught. And I want this to occur over like multiple days, sort of a thing.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool idea. Yeah.
Yeah, with maybe some internal monologue going on and some comedic elements.
Do you want the reason? So double agent is in there. Yes. We could just, if you're fine with doing all the tropes, just do every single trope out there for like memory loss, film, media, and entertainment in general. Self-induced memory loss for him to go through a plan because the guy knows himself so well. He knows if he puts the right clues in, loses his memory, he'll do exactly what he has planned because he has to not know what he
knew to get through the interview process.
To get through whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's very cliche. And
I kind of like that because then we could give the main character a kind of like Buzz Lightyear personality where it's like, of course I would have lost my memory because I'm so great. I don't need my memory. Yeah. I can start off from scratch. I'll figure this out.
But he doesn't know that because he's like essentially just a new person. Yeah. Right. Or like
he would only figure that out like halfway through or whenever.
And he just knows how to like shoot guns and like fight and stuff because it's just innately muscle memory in him. But he would be like, the first time you get in a fight sequence, it's like, how am I doing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think there's going to be some level of sneak. Like you obviously can't just shoot a building down.
Yeah. I feel like what it would be like is I'm assuming you're like in an office space, but it's like for a spy network, like a secret agent, like a secret agency or something like that, like M headquarters in 007.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's what I'm
maybe
thinking. But like you're doing all that, and there's definitely floors that are like secretive and stuff. But I want there to also be just different floors of bureaucracy that you have to go through with like random office people, all
yeah,
that good stuff in between.
maybe what it could be is each chapter of the game or whatever, like each day, you go through your office, find clues to whatever you're trying to do. But then every once in a while, you'll go into like a restricted zone or whatever that you're not allowed to go into, like a no access area. And if you were to get like caught there, it's like all out battle. You take out your guns or whatever, but for the most part, you try to sneak through those
But
portions.
I think you're still gonna have to hide bodies and stuff. I think
Right. I think
you
maybe.
can't just leave.
Oh, how about this? Maybe your main gun is like it. Maybe it's not even a gun. Your main form of attack or weapon is a memory wiping thing, and so
It'd be funny if more and more people in the building are wandering around, lost, not understanding what to do.
right. But maybe you could like adjust the power. So maybe at first
It's like in the last hour.
it's like powered down all the way, and you're like maybe the whole point of the game is like you to recharge this thing all the way back, and then that could return your memories. So right now it's like at a low level, and so you start off with a basic weak attack, and that just makes agents forget the last 10 minutes or something like that. But as you progress through the game and you charge up this memory wiping gun, maybe you unlock like new powers that you could, not powers, but new like things you could do with the memory gun. Like maybe you can make it so like agent completely forgets who they are, and that could kind of be like in video games when you like cause someone to like hallucinate and they start attacking their own people. Maybe in this it's more like they kind of go crazy and they start asking and causing disruption. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. So, and the reason I want to be first person is I want to be a mystery as well as who you are. And I feel like it's more immersive when you're walking around like an office, looking around rather than being like, oh, that's this person walking around.
Hear me out. You know what's big right now? VR. What if we make this a VR game?
I'd be fine with that. Yeah, totally. I think you could do both.
MetaQuest 2 or whatever it's called.
I think it could be a great VR. I want to do stuff. I want to steal all the features that make games like this super easy. So if you remember a passcode by reading it on a piece of paper to a door, it will autofill or tell you the passcode, so you don't have to look through all your fucking codexes and try to figure out which piece of paperwork mentioned what. It'll just be like, hey, oh, that guy's name is Jay and he likes spicy food. Like you don't have to sit there and try to.
I know you don't really like the mystery games and stuff like that, but I feel like this would go into more of the mystery file. Sure, you could do it like Hitman, which Hitman does that. If you find a passcode, it automatically fills up. It doesn't tell you where you found it. If you found it, it fills whatever you need, type of thing. But what if we had it more like how Last of Us Part 2 did their puzzles, where like if you find a safe, chances are the passcode is in the vicinity, and you just have to kind of look around and then you'll find it. It's going to be obvious because it's going to be like you look at the passcode you need. It's a 4-digit number, and you look around and you see like a circled date or something, and it's like
I don't mind that for unimportant stuff or like like miscellaneous details, but I want to have it where some like things that are needed, you need to go and get into a main office, and then that main office leads to another main office, because secret agents aren't just going to leave the codes to their stuff.
That's true.
Like right there in an open drawer.
We could do it in like a comedic way, maybe, though. I don't know, but no, I get
that's
you.
true. We could. It could be a lot of satire too.
Yeah, kind of like have you seen like Get Smart or like Johnny English?
I was thinking that even then, like, you could have it where there's like a journal, and then in the journal it'll be like, management has now said that due to hacking, the best way to protect your passwords is to write them down. So my password is password. And then like that's it for the computer.
We could also have like some passcodes and like clues to what you're supposed to do in like maybe the hint system. It's not a hint system because you have to go find it, but maybe hidden in like a lot of areas, and maybe there's like a indicator to the player, like it's painted a certain color or something that indicates areas that your character hid clues to himself. And if you go find it, you'll like find a solution to something. You know what I mean? Like it'll just be him leaving things someplace and be like, hey, it's me again. This guy, he hates poodles or something, and then like you go find a poodle and then put it in his office or something. And
I want there to be clues left everywhere. So like you're crawling through an air vent and then there's a clue. You go to the bathroom and then like maybe you find like a piece of paper sticking out of the toilet. It says to look up. You look up and then there's like a balloon there with a note card that you take down.
Yeah, because the whole point is he knows himself, and himself is you, the player. And so whatever you decide to do as the player, he's like, I would probably do that, even if you're like, at a toilet and it's like, look up or go in the little, the old school toilets where you could open it up and like hide stuff in there.
Exactly.
Yeah. What if we also made this more period-like, so it's not super high-techy? You know what I mean? Like make it in like the 90s or the 80s or something.
We could definitely do that and have it where there's sequences. And that's why I wanted it to occur over multiple days, because when you go back to your apartment, there will be clues in there that are obvious to set you up for the next day. So you always have like, where to go at first.
Yeah. Do you want it maybe kind of like how Deathloop does it and have like text just pop up? Whoops.
I was thinking about doing text just pop up, but I don't know if it would just be better served as the narrator or
because if you think about it, Deathloop is this game in like loose ways. You know what I mean? He wakes up, doesn't know who he is. Turns out he works for this company that does this, where they wipe memories daily.
Yeah, but they're wiping everybody's memories. You're right. This is heavily inspired from Deathloop with the core gameplay being changed.
Yeah, for sure.
Basically, we're running with the premise and using the premise as gameplay.
Yeah. But what I meant by that is maybe there is like an inner monologue that's happening that gives the player context clues and stuff. It doesn't have to be like Deathloop-esque where it's like on the screen, but maybe it could be like just inner monologue or something.
That's true. We could do it like that. That's fine. I'm cool with just having the monologue come up, just stealing that as well.
Yeah.
Do you want there also that we could like go and take gadgets? Like, do you think that we should have different gadgets that could help, like hacking, recording devices, being able to see through walls?
I definitely feel this as like a faux Metroidvania, where like I say that because I feel you're in the same office every single time, so it's just you getting to know this area better and better, right? And as you progress through the game and you explore more of the office, and it's not like time sensitive, the day ends when you complete your mission is assuming how it goes. Not so much that the day ends because you're on a time crunch type of thing.
Right.
And so at the end of each story mission or whatever, in the middle of it'll be like Legend of Zelda style, where you'll get like a gadget that you need to solve the boss or the next clue or something.
Right.
And that'll
with
unlock
lots of comedic
areas.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'll even throw this in for you, Jay. There will be like a section where you have to gain information by going on a smoke break with employees, but he doesn't smoke. So he'll have to do an internal monologue. Now take a drag. Don't cough.
It could be
blow it out slow. Act like you're enjoying it.
It'll be a Quantic Dream like Twister situation where you have to like hold buttons in weird spaces
and hold it, and you're like, now flick it like you mean it.
Yeah,
there we go. There goes that ash.
Fingers. How do I flick the fucking analog stick? Yeah.
All right, now take the drag. Not too much, not too little. All right. And
If
so
you
like as
cough,
he's
you have to like start over.
yeah, or they'll just be like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you getting sick?"
Yeah. Um, I could dig it. We could also have, I guess speaking of gadgets, it'd be more like I see them, like you said, you could like see through walls and like maybe some kind of grappling hook kind of thing. But I see them more as traversal and
Yeah.
as like opening spots. I don't see them as like you get a watch with a poison dart in it or something like that.
No, it's more like it's going to help you gain more information more easily.
Exactly.
So it's like as you progress through the game, you won't just have to walk around and do that, but now you can like look through or do listening devices.
Yeah.
Or get like a small drone so you can go into different places.
Right. And maybe we could also have it so there's like secret passageways that are hidden around the map that will like get you to certain places quicker. Like as devs, we would have built the map in a smart way where we put everything that's important, like all the important locations, and then we'll connect them by a secret passageway. And it like unlocks kind of like Dark Souls, you know what I mean? So then you don't have to travel through the entire way.
Right. So you find out that you've been here a long time because there's a bunch of different secret passages that you've carved out through different ways,
No,
either
they're like
behind the
that.
vending machine, huh?
It's like you at night coming in, sneaking in, turning off all the cameras, and you dig tunnels throughout the entire facility. Is that what you did?
And you're like, how did I even begin to do all this?
Yeah. You look in the mirror, you're like 80. That's the big reveal at the end.
You've been actually at this company for 20 years. You're like the deep plant.
Right.
You're actually the president and everyone gets out of your way. And you didn't know who the president was.
That would make sense, but then you wouldn't fight anyone because everyone would be like, what are you doing here, Mr. President?
True. I'm trying to think of how we could explain that away. Maybe it doesn't work. I want there to be a big reveal, but I don't know what to do. Like maybe you're part of a cloning procedure.
Maybe it's all a simulation. People are running an experiment. It's like what's that movie with Jim Carrey? Truman or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Something life.
Yeah, it's the one where he's part of a town and
it's all like a TV show and everyone's actors except for him. He was like born in that town.
Right. And he has a wife and kids and everything.
Yeah, but they're all actors that were hired or whatever. It'll be like that. And so there's like scientists running a test on you and you think you're some secret agent doing this whole thing.
Or you find out you're part of a reality show. Like that, like
just straight up.
Yeah, no, like straight up at the end of it.
Maybe you were a retired like actor or something and you've gone crazy. And so now you think life is your like role as this guy who played a secret detective in the show. And you think that's your life now as an old man. And turns out you're just like spying on a random office that everyone's like, who's this
like
crazy
almost
man?
Like one part. What's that one movie that the one where Tony Stark does blackface?
Oh, Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, right? Where the actor is in a war but thinks he's acting on a movie.
Right.
But it's the other way around.
Right, because they're on their way to like a movie set, but then like their helicopter crashes and they think it's all for the realism or some shit like that.
Yeah,
something like that. Where this actor who played a famous spy in like this spy entourage comedy.
Maybe we don't have to have mind blanks at all. Maybe he tries to write himself notes because he believes in himself that much that he can do this.
Right. Or that he convinced himself so hard that he lost his memory he just had. And it's like all just kind of in his head and that all his gadgets work and stuff.
We're going to have a bunch of just very like this game's going to rely on the voice acting, I feel like. Yeah. In terms of the main character and the side characters.
For sure. 100%. What does it look like to you?
I think it looks good, but not like hyper realistic or anything like that. I imagine for some reason, like all the characters to look not like fat, but you know that kind of pudgy look that some
Okay,
characters have.
perfect. So when we first did this, in my head, this game looked like Hitman. Like it looked immaculate. Like it was like a really great looking game. But as it got more and more comedic, I'm starting to think, jumping to studios really quick, I feel like this would be a Campo Santo game and look like
Yeah.
Firewatch, but like better.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
Campo Santo made Firewatch for PS5 with like better graphics and all that stuff. But that like look where everyone's kind of like his arms were pretty pudgy, that the main character in that, you know, and kind of like he was kind of lumbering a little bit.
Yeah, so basically our character would look like a mix of like a leading man, but also like Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, something like that. But you don't really see your character till the end, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be just like Firewatch, where you don't really see characters. Well, you'll see other people in this, of course, but like you don't know what you look like till the very end.
I'm liking this, and I think we're gonna have to have different branching dialogues depending on different like office humor. Like, have you worked in an office at all?
Yes, I interned at one.
Yeah,
like
so you
3
know
months.
stuff like there's a lady with a candy at her desk, and then you could take candy. But if you take candy every day, she's like, "Wow, you really like Reese's." Or if she, you know, it'll be like kind of
Yeah, mine was different because it was an office in Korea, so the culture is a little bit different. But I know what you mean.
Yeah, different office stuff going on in there, different lunches. I want there to be a cafeteria here. There's going to be different places. So cafeteria, smoke breaks, bathrooms, agent training, a shooting range, rooftop.
Oh, right, because they're agents. I was like a shooting range.
Yeah. I also want this game to be irreverent. So I want the rooftop to harken back to an anime style feeling where that scene is going to feel very much like an anime. So if you get it, you do. If you don't, you don't.
You mean like with the high fences?
High fences, and there's two agents hanging out, crouching, looking over.
A fucking green rooftop.
Yeah, and they're just sitting there. And for some reason, when you get out there, you hear cicadas. And you're like, huh, I wonder what this is. Why do I hear cicadas out here?
What is this, in Texas? Does Texas have cicadas?
That's the thing. We don't have to say where it's at.
Yeah, it's just a place.
It's just going to be full of tropes and full of different things as you're trying, I think as a player, trying to figure out like, am I on a movie set or am I not?
It's San
Why does it feel
Frantokyo.
like everything's like this? Is this how life really is or isn't it?
Yeah. Is that what it's called? San Frantokyo? Is that what it was called? Big Hero 6?
Oh yeah, San Frantokyo, yeah.
It'd just be a random mix mash of cultures, like I guess Los Angeles, sort of. Cool. I like it.
All right. So the music here is, and I think we got the base gameplay. You're walking around, there's different day-night cycles. You're going to have different missions you can do with an overarching mission, but you have to get clues. You have to break into clues using different kinds of drones, spy techniques, and listening, but you're mostly going to be walking around with some sequences where you're going to use CQC, close quarters combat, and sleep darts as well as a sleep ray gun.
Or
with the music, I think
the memory erasing gun.
Memory erasing gun, the Meg. The music, I imagine the music being classic spy music, like what everyone's picturing in their head right now.
I get what you mean, but we'll put like a spin on it. Maybe it's like kind of more jazzy and fun because it's not super serious, you know? Mm-hmm. It's like has a comedic feel to it, so we'll make it like a little bit more like there's a song playing in my head and there's no way for me to translate it, but whatever you imagine of more fun, jazzy take on detective music.
And I'm tone deaf, so whenever I sing a song, it sounds like the song in my head, and everyone's like, what you're singing is not it.
That's what everyone tells me. I have the same problem.
So pricing, I'm willing to pay a fat $30 here.
I would say 40. So let's go in the middle, 35.
35, 34.99. All right, Jay, get your timer out. We're going to name this game.
Go.
Tell me when it begins.
Oh, I said go.
Oh. Mission briefing.
Mission briefing in 23 seconds.
All right, Mission Briefing is a first-person spy game where you play as an agent who's lost his memory, trying to figure out what they're supposed to be doing in here. Are they an actor in a movie? Are they playing a secret mission? Are they a double agent? You must find out and find all the secret clues that they've in this hilarious adventure. All right, we got a game here, Jay. What do you think? Would this be a game you'd want to play, and is it fun?
I'd probably give it a shot. We'll see how far it gets, but I feel like it's a game I'll buy on a whim, maybe on a sale, and then play like 2-3 hours and be like, that was fun. And then just not know if I'll ever get back to it.
Yeah, it'll be one of those games that I think for me, it would get me in because people are like, this is refreshing. It's fun. It's funny. And then I'd play it and I'd be like, yeah, that was good. That was good. But you only need maybe like one of these to break it up.
Yeah.
All right, now that we have a complete game, what game studio would you assign to be able to make Mission Briefing the best?
Well, I already mentioned Campo. Yeah, Santo.
Campo Santo.
I'm looking at this developer.
Justin Roiland could do it for sure.
I forget. They have a weird name for their studio name.
And then, I don't know. Is it Revolver?
Devolver?
Devolver.
They're a publisher.
They're a publisher.
Yeah.
Let me see what they got, what devs they have under.
Right. I'm looking at Clever Plays. They made a game recently called Operation Tango. I played it because it was a free PS Plus game 1 month. But it was a cute, fun, like, it was a different vibe, that game, where Operation Tango, where it was 2 people, one person plays the agent, one person plays the hacker, and you play a bunch of mini games and you have to like work together, and it's like frustrating games that are hard to do.
So frustrating.
But
and I'll also throw in Adult Swim Games, the developer.
Sure.
I think they would do a great job here. And with that, our 188th IP has gone gold. We hope you look forward to this experience that will probably never release. You can write to @poundgames@gmail.com if you have anything to patch into the game we created today. Also, give us feedback. We are still learning how to make this show better, and your feedback really helps. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to back our ideas, please head over to patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early and an extra podcast at the beginning, which you caught the tail end of our conversation. No, you didn't. None of that happened. I'm sorry, guys.
Not today.
This is an emergency episode, and you won't have any of that here, but you will find out about burgers and mushrooms. That's patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. If you liked our show, why not subscribe and give us all the stars on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Store, Spotify, YouTube, and more. And if they ask for a review, instead of reviewing our show, become your in-game critic and review Mission Briefing, the video game we just created today. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next Friday with another new IP. Again, my name is Alex Gonzalez.
And I'm Jay Yee.
Thank you, and please remember that we are not game devs. I also want different scenes where he goes in and there's like an agent that comes up to him and starts speaking full Russian. He's like, what? And then he starts speaking full Russian. He's like, I can do that?
Yeah.
And then like the whole scene passes, he's like, I think I'm a double agent and I'm working for the Russians. And then like a couple of days later, someone comes up talking full Mandarin to him. He's like, hold on. And he speaks full Mandarin to them. He's like, am I a triple agent working for the Chinese and the Russians? Like, I want it to be chock full of stuff where people are like, what's even going on?
And then at the end, they're just your friends.
They just happen to also know those languages. Yeah.